This is United Tribes News Radio, insights into Native culture, people, ideas, and topics. To improve understanding from United Tribes Technical College in Bismarck, I'm Alicia Hegland-Thorpe with the Office of Public Information. And from the SuperTalk 1270 studios, you're listening to United Tribes News Radio. Today on the show, our guests are from United Tribes Technical College, and they're all talking about local and national happenings, such as the Tribal Leaders Summit in early September that happens in Bismarck at the Event Center. It's a marketplace for networking your business, and it's a place to share ideas and issues affecting Indian country. And we'll talk about the International Powwow, why it's a big hit, not only for Indian country, but for Bismarck and Mandan communities. We'll also speak to a student who's been traveling across the United States about issues affecting Indian education. Recently, she spoke to a crowd of about 40,000 people on her platform, and we'll hear what issues are most commonly discussed for Indian education and how changes are being made on the national level and how that in turn trickles down and affects Indian education here locally. Also, did you know that water is the largest component of the human body, making up about 60% of your body weight? Wow. And the dog days of summer bringing on heat and humidity, it's easy to lose hydration. So we're going to have a nutritionist from United Tribes Technical College Land Grant Extension with the best ways to stay hydrated in the hot North Dakota summers. And it's not as easy as just drinking 8 glasses of water a day. But first, mobile technology is used in so many different ways, from setting home security systems to remotely opening garage doors to downloading apps and games to our mobile phones, Pokemon Go, for example. But mobile technology is being used and tested at United Tribes to keep students on track with all of their campus activities. We just finished with the summer semester, and a few students were using this technology and testing the waters. So far, a positive response. The United Tribes Technical College's mobile app is intended to be a personal assistant for all users, from students to faculty and staff. It brings services to your fingertips and enables the user to connect with classmates, friends, and staff. It gives users access to events, the calendars, dining menus, faculty contacts, campus map, athletic events, and of course, current news events. It's also a potential recruiting tool as well. Orientation sessions are planned at the beginning of every semester. But you can explore it now, download it on your iPhone App Store or the Android Play Store. It's at uttc.campusapp.com. I'll say that again, uttc.campusapp.com. And so, like I said earlier, the summer session just wrapped up, and now it's time to gear up for fall semester. Enrollment is forecasted as excellent. We're ahead of last year's numbers of applicants for fall, and we're still accepting more students. The deadline may have passed to apply with the Native American tuition waiver for the fall semester, but our website offers more information about that. It will apply to other semesters. Our website illustrates in great detail what programs are offered at United Tribes Technical College, about 20 degree programs in all, and we've added some new ones. Our website also explains the history of United Tribes. We have a rich history coming all the way from the late 1800s as a military post to the 1960s when United Tribes first opens its doors, 1969. We encourage you to check out our website for more information at uttc.edu, or you can always give us a call with your questions at 255-3285. You can also find a current news and events page or a page dedicated to the Tribal Leaders Summit, powwow information. That's all in the drop-down menu as well. Did you know that United Tribes has a Minority Business Development Agency Business Center? If you're a minority entrepreneur or a business owner, the MBDA will provide you with the tools and the expertise you need to compete globally and to create good-paying jobs. The MBDA was established in 1980 on the campus of United Tribes and has continued to serve Native and other minority entrepreneurs and tribes in the region with the tools that they need to be prosperous and successful. Even if you are an established business and are looking for a better way to market or a better way to use social networking, or maybe you just need some advice on how to arrange your finances, call the MBDA at United Tribes Technical College. Contact Breck Maxon at 221-1359. That's 221-1359. Also, if you or anyone you know is a previous United Tribes student or employee, we'd love to hear from you or them and to encourage you to be a part of the Thunderbird Alumni Association. The world of social networking provides many opportunities for Thunderbird alumni to remain informed about United Tribes and to remain connected to former classmates and the entire United Tribes family. Like our United Tribes Technical College Facebook page, and you'll find out the latest happenings on campus. So if you graduated from United Tribes, you are one of over 10,000 alumni from more than 75 federally recognized Indian tribes across the nation that are UTTC alumni community. So whether you are a new graduate or one of the many that helped pave the way, we want you to be an active part of the Thunderbird Alumni Club. So contact Joey McLeod for more information. Her number is 221-1520. So coming up after the break, local community events and the International Powwow and how you can be a part of it and why it's so important to our community. We'll have that after the break.
Right Now 73.
The Red River Farm Network. Ag News is here on Super Talk 1270.
Thank you for staying with us. We're United Tribes News Radio. My in-studio guest today is the United Tribes Technical College Event Coordinator, Sasheen Whitetail-Cross. Welcome back to the show.
The show.
I'm a little tongue-tied today, and the allergies aren't helping anything at all. Sasheen, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us more about your role as the coordinator.
My name is Sasheen. Hello, everyone out there. I'm from Stony Rock Sioux Tribe. Shout out to my peeps down there. I am the event coordinator at United Tribes, so I take care of the major big events that we do on our campus, such as the Tribal Leaders Summit and Trade Show, the Powwow, and I do a little bit of, once I get this under my belt, I will be doing a lot more with some other events on campus, but right now I'm focusing on the summit and powwow.
Right, as you should, because they're coming up really soon.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Time is going by so fast. So, as you said, you're coordinating the Tribal Leaders Summit and the International Powwow, and they're both happening in the same week. I mean, what are the challenges that you're coming across doing both of those at the same time?
I'm going crazy. The challenges are mainly that because this is new to me and some of these people I've never met before, and I'm corresponding through them with emails, and I'm having a hard time keeping emails straight of who like if I'm speaking to two people with the same letter with J or two people with Johns, but they do two different jobs. I'm getting them confused on, they could be over at Department of Justice, but someone could be over at Department of Agriculture now. So that's getting confusing.
Oh, boy. Sure.
But otherwise, that's the only thing I'm having a hard time with is keeping people straight. But I think once I get to know them at the summit and put a face to their name and what they do, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, for future reference. But right now, I'm just having a struggle with keeping people straight.
So then find what the fun thing is about it then.
Getting to know people in our community and getting to know these people that work in Indian country. It's been fun going out and meeting people in our community and learning what they can do and what they support with the powwow and summit and other things, and getting to know the different venues in town.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great way to network there. Let's take a minute to explain to the listeners what the Tribal Leaders Summit is, its purpose, and maybe how it came to be.
The Tribal Leaders Summit and Trade Show is a time for all the tribal leaders, the chairmen, the councilmen, or any people that are in Indian country doing some work to come together and to discuss some of the major issues in Indian country, so that they can correspond and create like resolutions. We do have a lawyer on site that will be creating resolutions that then will go back to the National Congress of Indians and NCAI to do some lobbying for us. So this is a great time for everyone in Indian country to come and make their voice heard. So for future reference or future things for our Indian people in our communities, this is an avenue for us to move forward.
Absolutely. And so most of the events are for Indian country, as you said, but there are a few events this year that open up to the public.
Yes. On, I believe, Wednesday night, we have a first ever comedy show. It is James and Ernie. They are two Navajos from the New Mexico area. They will be presenting Wednesday evening, and it's open to the public. It's a free event. They are drug and alcohol free, great message, family friendly. So bring your kids out and come. It's a free event in the evening on Wednesday. It's from 5:30 to 6:30.
Let's tell those dates, by the way.
Oh, Wednesday, September 7th.
Okay.
September 7th from 5:30 to 6:30. It's at the Bismarck Event Center. The James and Ernie, you can Google them or YouTube them and find some of their videos. They're hilarious.
Funny. They are funny.
If you like native comedy, they are some of the funniest people. Us Indians like to laugh at each other and make fun of each other. So they are going to be a great crowd to just have fun with. It was something that we wanted to do to lighten up the week, because everything is so heavy with the policy making and heavy hitters, the big people that are on site. So we're like, oh, let's have something that's a little bit more relaxing and fun. So this is what we decided to do.
Okay. And then the other event that's open to the public?
It is on Thursday night at the State Historical Society. It's sponsored by the State Historical Society as well as the North Dakota Indian Affairs Commission, Scott Davis's office. They have done a foundation to establish the Native American Hall of Honor, and they're having a reception at the
North Dakota
Heritage Museum. Okay. And that starts at 5. And there's a social hour there, and then inductee ceremony at 6 p.m. And that's open to the public. And what this event is it's a program that recognizes traditional and contemporary achievements in 4 different categories. And every year they're going to be picking 2 people per category. So on this evening, they're going to be recognizing the people that have already been selected and putting them in the inductee.
Okay, is this the first Hall of Fame?
Yes, this
is
the
Hall of Honor.
Yeah, this is the first year, the first time doing the Hall of Honor.
Okay. Do you have any of the names of any of the people who are?
I don't right now.
Okay.
I think that's kind of kept under wraps.
Oh,
a little bit. I'm not sure. I know I have told some people have said, "Oh, my grandpa or my dad or something," but the names have not really been
released.
They put out there. Maybe they have, and I just don't have them yet.
Okay. But still, both those events open to the public. The comedy event happening on the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And then the Hall of Honor ceremony at the North Dakota Heritage Museum happens Thursday evening, and that is what wraps up the Tribal Leader Summit.
Yes.
Okay. Taking a step on then to the how can people sign up to be a part of the summit? I mean, you're looking for vendors, possibly some more sponsors. What can a person do to get involved?
If you wanted to become a vendor, you can go on our website. It is summit.uttc.edu. There is an application on there that you can fill out online and pay online to become a vendor, or if you want to participate, you can do the same thing. All of our information's on there about the summit, the agenda, sponsors, hotels, any of that stuff.
And the agenda is actually still being updated because you've got possibly some surprise visitors.
Yes. Okay. It's kind of been under the wraps right now, so the agenda that's on the website is very general because we're waiting on some confirmation of some head people.
Yeah, some dignitaries.
So until we find out that they are geared in or clued into us, that we will release that.
And we should know more of that probably next week.
Yeah, I'm hoping Monday.
Okay, wonderful. Taking a step on now to the powwow. Obviously it takes more than one person to plan it. So
exactly.
There's a planning committee, correct?
Yes.
And how many people do you think need to be on a committee to plan something so large?
Well, we have about 5 people on the executive committee, and then another 10 people on different avenues. For instance, like security, the food, the vendors, the food vendors. We have a variety of people on different types of committees and doing different things, because one person can't do it all. And I really appreciate all the people that step up to make sure that this happens.
Absolutely. It takes a village.
Exactly.
It takes a village. That's right. So the success of the powwow depends not only on the planning committee, but we're also looking at the community. We're relying on our community to help us in several different ways.
Yeah. We would like to invite you guys out to come to the powwow if you have never came to a powwow. It's not, don't be scared in any way. It's a powwow is a community social event. You can sit by someone and just ask questions. And what is this? We are working on some literature to hopefully get out to everyone if you have never attended the powwow.
Right, like what are some of these dances that they're doing?
And what is a powwow, and what are the songs, and
So we're working on literature for that to explain to everybody exactly what those are.
Because we want our community to come out, especially if you've never came out. We really would like to see you come out there. And a wristband for a day is $10.
There you go.
And then if you wanted to do a wristband for the weekend, it's $20. It's
well worth it.
Well worth it.
Oh, yes.
You can come at 11 and 12 o'clock in the morning and stay until about 7 o'clock in the evening and get 2 sessions in. You can, and then on Saturday and Sunday, we both have a meal out there. So you won't go hungry. They're free meals.
We call them feeds.
Yeah. So
because they will feed you.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
In Indian country, you never leave hungry.
That's right. That's right. And those are on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Who's sponsoring the feeds?
Saturday night, the Mandan Hidatsa Rikra Nation up north of us is sponsoring that feed. It's a barbecue, actually.
Okay.
And then on Sunday night, it's the Sistan and Wapaton. That's the east of us. Sponsoring that buffalo feed
and corn feed. That's right. So let's take an opportunity here that if we're looking for people to not only attend, but we're looking for sponsors.
Yes.
What does the sponsorship get somebody? You're talking about businesses and stuff, correct?
Yeah, depending on your sponsorship level, we have several different levels. And if you wanted to get that document, you could give me a call or email me. My email is scross, so scross @uttc.edu. But the sponsorship levels can give you different sizes of ads, participation in grant entry, powwow passes, company logo on a banner, sponsorship on our website, announcement throughout the weekend. It gives you, depending on your level, and you'll get different things.
And announcements mentioning the thank yous, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. All right.
But we're always looking for sponsors, and I want to give a quick little shout out to our current sponsors: Valor Insurance, MDU Resources, the CVB, Kirkwood Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Dakota Pest Control, the AARP, Capital Electric, and Tesoro.
That's right. Thank you so much. Also, we want to mention the dates of the powwow. It's September 9th through the 11th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is a little bit different than in the past because normally we had Thursday through Sunday. So we've shortened it up so you have still a lot of fun and a lot of time to enjoy the music, the fun. Come for the food, come for the music, come for the camaraderie, and come for friendship. We hope to see you. Thank you for being on the show, Seshi, and we'll be right back after the break.
Right now, 73.
Dave Ramsey is heard here. Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're United Tribes News Radio on Super Talk 1270. Our next studio guest is a United Tribes student, a mother, a traditional dancer, a possibly soon-to-be teacher. She graduates, next spring?
Oh, I still have 2 years.
You got a little more time left.
Yeah.
But now something to add on your list is a professional speaker.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Welcome to the show, Margaret Landon. So now that we're adding professional speaker on your list, you just came back from Oklahoma City.
Yes.
You've been around the United States here for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
You've
I've been
traveling.
traveling this summer. It's been amazing to travel around and just see other Native communities and visit with these other tribes and what they're incorporating in their communities, what they're doing, what their youth are doing, what our pre-service teachers doing, what our educators doing now.
And let's back up there. Let's introduce who you are and who you represent and why you were traveling.
Okay, I'm Margaret Landon. I am pre-service teacher at United Tribes Technical College, but I am also part of this association, the National Education Association. I was selected to be on the advisory committee, where there are only 9 students nationwide that get selected for advisory committee. So what advisory committee is it's just this committee that we organize our student conference. We get together, we talk about new business matters that pertain to our chapters nationwide. What can we change? Also, we talk about grants and scholarships, things like that, and try to implement things for our pre-service teachers nationwide.
So who you're representing is on the student level, but the NEA is also actual teachers. But
Yep.
you're on the student teaching level.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
So there was 2
exactly.
levels of that. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So there we have educators that are in the classrooms. We also what is it called? The retired group. We kind of help the retired group out. They have their own caucus and association, not association, but their own group, I guess. I'm sorry. And also public service. So it's not, when we talk about educators, we're not just talking about teachers. We're talking about bus drivers, principals, superintendents, people that sit on school boards. So anyone that is related to, like the cafeteria, the cooks, people that are related to and work in the public school system, those are all educators. So we represent all those people, and all those people come to like our conferences, and they just get professional development, or we just kind of decide what is going to better suit us. So
this is an annual meeting?
It is. It's an annual
And
conference.
how many people are attending this conference?
Well, at our student leadership conference, we have about 5,000 or plus, depending on each state and which states participate. The national conference for all educators is up to 40,000, I believe, and growing strong still. It is actually the number 1 association for teachers in the nation. So it was really awesome to see how many educators were in the convention center in D.C.
And now, most recently, though, you were in Oklahoma City, and then we'll talk about D.C. Okay. So Oklahoma City, then, you were representing the NEA for the Unity Conference.
Yes.
And how did you represent? What was your title?
So when I went to the Unity Conference, I was asked by this awesome person, Samantha Eldridge, who works for the NEA in the minority group. And what she does is she kind of picks certain people here and there throughout Indian country to represent and go and just talk about whatever issue that they're passionate about. So for me, education, obviously, being a teacher. So when I went to Oklahoma, I went to talk about the importance of Native educators in public school systems. And I was speaking with high school students.
So you were the featured speaker.
It was a breakout session.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
This one was a breakout session. So it was really nice because we got at least 30 kids that came in that were interested, and if they weren't interested in education, they just wanted to hear about what I had to say. And it was really awesome because watching these kids, they're so amazing. I'm really excited about what they're going to do when they decide to go into their professions. What are they going to do for a Native country, and what are they going to bring to the table for our Native people? Because they were so hungry for knowledge. They were so hungry for leadership. They were outspoken. They were doing some really awesome things there. And I was just proud to be there and honored because when I was younger, I don't remember it being like that. Like our at that age, I don't remember a lot of my colleagues and, classmates being like that, just so full of life. Mm-hmm. These students were really amazing. So I was really honored to be there and share with them that there is an importance for Native educators in classrooms, because majority of what we have in classrooms and are white women that are teachers, educators, principals, that sort of thing. We don't have a lot of Native teachers in the classrooms. And it's really important for our students to kind of have that bond or make some sort of connection. We need that representation in our culture being in school systems, and then also we need someone in the school systems that is Native to advocate for our Native students, especially about mascots, things like that. There's a lot of schools out there that they don't have that knowledge, or they don't have the accessibility to understand that having a mascot is not appropriate. A Native mascot is not appropriate. It's offensive. Statistically, it does show that our youth, it affects them negatively, so we need those people in those school systems to advocate for those students.
And to understand so
Yep.
that they can relate to those issues and to the students who are having issues.
Exactly.
And to help them be more successful.
Exactly.
Okay. So what's the one thing that stood out in this Unity conference for you? Or a person or an experience?
I think the one thing that stood out is, like I said before, the youth there. They were just amazing, and then what they had to offer. It was a long conference. I didn't get to attend the whole thing. I just went for my breakout sessions. But the days that I was there, it was pretty amazing to see how well they all were together. And like I said, they spoke up. They interacted with me in my breakout session, and it was awesome to see. We did these questions where it asks, like I put them on a big stick or a big piece of paper. And it says, what is an educator? And when we do this, when I've done it with college students and when I do it with educators, they'll usually say a teacher, a principal, things like that. They'll define it that way. These high schoolers were defining educators as someone who listens, someone who cares. And it just really blew me back. I was really touched.
But it really makes sense.
And it made so much sense. And I was
Yes.
like, these guys get it. It was awesome to see that they got it. So that was just inspiring to me. And then also that they inspire us as educators all the time, and they don't even realize it. They always think, oh, my teacher inspired me. Well, they don't realize that we're inspired by them every day.
Oh, that's true. I bet that's true. Recently, you went to Washington, D.C.
Yes.
You met a couple of people there.
I did.
What were you in D.C. for?
I was in D.C. for, like I said, I was on the National Advisory Committee. So we had to head up the student conference. So I was working when I went there, and we had to, make sure everything was running smoothly, registration, doing all that type of business there. But so for the first 3 days, it was our student leadership conference, and then I spoke on a panel for that, and it was on institutional racism and injustice in classrooms, and kind of just sharing my story and me growing up in a public school system and being the only Native, family, me and my sisters being the only Native family in our classrooms and in our whole school. So just sharing that, and then also after that, we go to the RA, and the RA is the one with all the educators there. And it was so awesome to see, like, democracy at its finest. Like I said, they bring new business items to the table. And there were, I think we had 120 some new business items. And every day we got, this newspaper that came out. And it would add new business items on it. And some of them would say, we want the NEA to support that the use of not using Native mascots in schools. So one would be like that. Or we want the NEA to support and write a letter to other schools allowing or supporting our Native youth to wear their regalia during graduation, their beaded caps or their feather. And that one was a huge one. I totally love that. And I met with the Native American Caucus.
And that's really an issue?
It is an issue. So where some people, they can't wear it. A lot of students, they may come from the reservation for a couple of years that they were there and go to school there thinking that that's okay to do. And then when they get to the public school system, it's not allowed. So they'll come with their beaded cap or their feather, and it'll get taken away from them. And they're not allowed to wear them. So, meeting with, when you're over there, they have different breakout caucus groups. And I met with the American Indian and Native Alaskan group. And that was one of the new business matters that we were discussing. What could we bring to the table for everyone there to, for a new business item to vote on? And, we either oppose or we go with it. And it was really awesome to see how it works. People are holding up signs, or they're just saying, that they support it or not support it. It wasn't like everybody put in ballots or, that sort of thing. It was really loud and full of energy. And we did get a special guest. One day Hillary Clinton did come in, and that was really amazing. But it was the second time I did see her, so I was pretty excited. I was very lucky. But
you are very lucky, and you're very blessed. And we're so blessed to have you on our show today. I wish we had more time. We could talk forever.
We could.
There's so many things that we can talk about. Unfortunately, they're pushing us off into a break. Margaret Landon, thank you so much for being a part of our show today, and I look forward to having you on again.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now, 75.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. supertalk1270.com.
This is United Tribes News Radio on Super Talk 1270. I'm your host, Alicia Hegland-Thorpe, and I'm with the Office of Public Information at United Tribes. We value your time, and we're grateful that you're staying with us to learn more about United Tribes and our community. Next up on this segment, it might make you a little thirsty. So you may want to stay hydrated, and we'll tell you more about that in a second. We're going to use this opportunity, though, while you go get yourself a drink, to introduce to you Jana Milner. She is a registered dietitian at the United Tribes Technical College Land Grant Extension Program. Welcome back to our show.
Hi.
Hi. I am thirsty. I'm going to grab myself a drink. So today is a little bit cooler than some of the other days that we've had this summer. But I think what people might forget is, staying hydrated. I know people who don't drink water.
I know. I definitely hear people, and I'm an avid water drinker myself. I can't go throughout the day without having a glass by my office desk or having my water bottle with me when I go out the door. So
it's not the first time, though, that you've heard people who say, I'm really not a fan of water. I mean, what do you tell them?
There's a lot. So it's always funny because water doesn't taste like much to me. So it's always interesting when people say they're not water people. But there's a lot of different ways that you can flavor your water, or unsweetened beverages that you can have that are healthy alternatives to having just water.
Okay. A friend of mine, she likes to drink those Mios a lot. So wherever we go, when she's drinking water, she takes a little Mio out of her purse and she pours it in there. And I'm not a big fan of those sugars that are in there.
Yep. So a lot of artificial sweeteners, or some of them have sugar as well. But sometimes I would rather have someone be putting that than having like a soda sometimes.
And so let's talk about that. Is Gatorade or Powerade really any better than water?
It's not better than water. They're very high in sugar. So that part kind of scares me, especially with how that can feed into different diseases and diabetes and everything like that.
And people don't just drink one. They drink many of them.
Right. I had someone come in my office the other day for nutrition counseling. He drinks 4 or 5 Gatorades a day. That's a lot of sugar.
It's a lot of electrolytes.
Yeah.
Keeping up my energy. So how much fluids should a person be drinking a day, and does it need to be water?
So the normal recommendations is 8 cups a day. They kind of give that as a general recommendation. A better guide to make it more personalized to you is about 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce per pound of body weight. So if you, I looked at mine, I'm about 135 pounds, so I should be drinking about 67 ounces of water a day is what they had recommended. So a little more than 8 cups.
Okay.
So, but you can be getting that. You can be getting it from water, from coffee. Despite that, coffee is a stimulant, so you're going to maybe Alicia had some coffee this morning. And so despite the fact that coffee, it does have caffeine, it is a stimulant, it might make you urinate a little more frequently, it's still going to be hydrating you on some level. But you can be getting it from your fluids, you can be getting it from your fruits and vegetables, which are also going to give you vitamins and nutrients and minerals as well. And so you can be getting it really high fluid. Fruits and vegetables are going to be like cucumbers, zucchinis, tomatoes, watermelon, things like that. So
really, any food that a person is consuming, you're still going to get the water intake out of it.
Yep.
Yeah?
Those fruits and vegetables, yep.
Mostly the fruits and vegetables and some cucumbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk a little more about, you were talking that you carry bottled water around with you, and I've done the same thing. But is bottled water necessarily better than tap water?
And I don't buy bottled water very often. One, because you're wasting extra plastic, so I try to avoid that in general. But it also deters me when I go to the gas station. It also costs me less money because I don't have to buy my water every time, and I'll just literally take my water bottle in the gas station, go fill it up at their pop station, and just fill it with water. So bottled water, no, it's not necessarily, getting back to your question, but bottled water isn't necessarily better. Sometimes it might taste better because they are just using tap water a lot of times, but they put it through an extra filtration process, so maybe it'll taste a little bit better. But you can do that on your own. You can get a nice little Brita water or any of those different water filters and do it yourself. They even make water bottles with filtration systems on them sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yep, and so you can get those too if you want to do like an individual type deal.
I have a glass water bottle that has like a silicone case over it, and a silicone cover. So and I like to put some of my oils and stuff into my water. So when I have an ice cold glass of water that I want to take with me, I put it in my glass bottle and drop a little of my oils in there. I should have had some this morning because of my allergies and my voice is so bad, but I'd rather have coffee.
So what's your favorite oils to put in your...
I like lemon oil, and then sometimes I'm putting ocotillo, and maybe a little bit of cinnamon, depending on what my mood is that day.
So what Alicia's talking about is essential oils, and you can put those... they're usually a more concentrated form.
Right.
So you can put fresh lemon in your water, or you can put an essential oil, but essentially you're going to get some of the same benefits from it, or some extra benefits than just having the normal food. And sometimes having that little bottle is a little easier. So some can help with immunity, some can help with cleansing, some can just even help. Having a little lemon in your water can help wake you up, add a little flavor. They can be good for a lot of different things.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's some topics here that we could go on forever about, but what are some of the more important, staying hydrated? I mean, there's some key things that you need to remember. How do you know if your body's dehydrated?
Well, especially with these, what did we have last week? 109 heat index all day. And I think it got up to like 112 at some points. So being out in that kind of weather, and not even necessarily that kind of weather in general, but especially then, sometimes you'll get dehydrated, and sometimes people will end up getting so dehydrated they feel like they're hungry. We call it HIRSty, hungry, thirsty. So instead of just going right to eating food, making sure that you're staying hydrated, drinking that water, being conscious of what you're putting your body through that day. If you're outside and exasperating yourself, make sure that you're that if you've eaten within the last 2 hours, maybe you're thirsty instead of hungry.
Right.
So drink some water, wait 10 minutes, and then see if you're hungry. So
It's hard. It's a hard thing to do when you're out there gardening in the 100 and some degree heat, but you know you're thirsty.
right, and that's why keeping a water bottle. I try to keep a bottle on me at most times, no matter where I'm at, just because then you're going to avoid having that opportunity to get dehydrated, because it's always going to be on you, and be prepared. And then it's also going to amp you to, sometimes when you think you're hungry instead of thirsty, you're eating at a time when you might not have normal. So maybe you can help avoid that situation too. Waking up with a glass of water, I like to keep a glass of water by my bed. I know that I annoy my boyfriend with how many water bottles that I have, or water glasses that I have next to the bed. But always keeping that water on hand is really key, and waking up to it can help, and it can help so much with digestion too.
I've heard of that too. That when you wake up with a glass of water, I mean, it really it starts your metabolism and gets you going for the day. Yep.
Let's see. Oh, also being aware, the older we get, sometimes we don't always have those natural cues to when we get thirsty. Elderly have increased needs for water because they have that decreased ability to detect thirst. So making sure that we're always staying on top of it, no matter if we're infants, if we're adolescents, if we're adults, if we're elderly.
Okay, wonderful. Great points. Jana Milner, a registered dietitian with United Tribes Technical College, thank you so much for being on our show today. And I look forward to having you on our show again. These topics and our conversation is just so free-flowing. That's very refreshing. So thank you so much for being on the show. I just want to take another minute to tell you about the United Tribes Technical College 47th Annual International Powwow. That will be September 9th, 10th, and 11th. Mark your calendars for that. We really hope to have you out on those days. And from all of us at United Tribes Technical College, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for Free for All Friday on Super Talk 1270, keeping you involved and informed on issues that impact our area. To find more local talk at 11 o'clock, keep your radios right here on Super Talk 1270.
Super Talk 1270 KLXX Mandan, Bismarck. Listen anytime, anywhere, online at supertalk1270.com.